So you guys just saw the video on the Element my daughter got rid of. This is what replaced it. We're going to take a look at it today and how she got scammed, or at least attempted a very crazy scam. Let's get started.
So Wizard, are you starting to feel a little old with this car?
I am. My daughter went out and bought their own car, their own financing, took care of everything herself.
She did. This is the very first car we've not done much help with. We did a little, and I'm glad we did.
Yeah, there's definitely a scam that you're going to see towards the end of the video. You want to watch the whole thing because we're going to reveal they attempted to pull the wool over her eyes pretty stiffly.
And it almost cost her $7,000.
$7,000 unneeded dollars that were unnecessary, not even needed for this car loan to be approved and to be purchased on this vehicle. So let's go ahead and take a look around this 2019 Ford Fusion Hybrid. Here's the front of this Fusion Hybrid. It has some nice chrome trim accents going on. I've seen a lot of these on the road and they look kind of boring and bland. This one actually looks a little spiffed up a little bit, maybe because it's a 2019 year, but it's in pretty good shape. It has the 18-inch kind of a dark gray alloy wheels. As you can see, it denoted hybrid on the side. And it's white, Mrs. Wizard. We've had lots of white cars.
I've had lots of white cars, but she hasn't. Her preference was not to have a red car.
Definitely. And you can see we've taped up the dealership's name because we have much better things to do with our life than be in and out of court for the next 8 months. I really am not looking into doing that, so we will not be revealing that today. It is missing the letter I on titanium. That was brought up during the purchase process, and the dealership, as you can see, did nothing about it. As you can see, really good shape. It's not dented or beat up or any dings or anything on it. It does have some little scuffs there, little chips that they attempted to paint it by just putting some touch-up paint and sanding it. Not really a very good, valiant effort there. So being it's a hybrid, let's go ahead and take a look under the hood and see what's going on under there. So this isn't her first hybrid. She's actually had a Prius before, so she knows the whole hybrid game and really enjoys driving a hybrid. You see, this is the 2-liter 4-cylinder. It is not turbocharged. And it does have a lot of electronics and things going on here. If you ever open the hood of a vehicle and you see all these orange cables, that means it's a hybrid or an EV. It's to denote high voltage. So you definitely don't want to be taking those cables loose or working on it if you're doing any work. You could really hurt yourself. But over here is the whole hybrid drive unit. Everything is on this side here. On this side's the gas engine. I don't see any serious leaks or anything going on. On the gas engine side, I don't see any issues going on here, Mrs. Wizard.
No, it looks really good, but it shouldn't have too many problems. It's too new.
Yep. Let's go ahead and jump into the interior and see what it looks like in there.
Okay, ladies and gents, you can see over there it says 87,855.4 miles, and it's got leaves. She actually likes plants a whole lot, and well, she gets some more leaves in here, and unfortunately she must have been driving a little spirited on her way here today because apparently she lost a leaf. She's gonna have to work and grow that sucker back. But a very simple gauge cluster. You can do all sorts of changes and modify what you see in there. More than just what we're seeing today. You can get, all sorts of settings for like tire pressures and things of that nature. But obviously, dash is in really good condition. It's nice and large. Has a little spot up there where you can see about airbags, things like that. It's so far away, it's hard to even read. But as we move down, it has a lovely infotainment system. And this is one of the main reasons why she bought this car. She wanted a screen. The Honda Element was nice, but obviously it didn't have any creature comforts because again, it's a very minimalistic car. As we move down, you see we have some of our HVAC controls right there. Many of them are in the touch screen. Has a nice hidey hole down here, which has a changing color. If I cover up this light, you'll see that it is purple now, but it does rotate through a nice rainbow of colors. As we move down, you'll see that she's got a dial gear selector, and again, those lights are illuminating the cup holder as well. Have a nice spot there to mark if we're in eco, what kind of eco mode we're in, and if we're on going down lots of hills. We've got a hidey hole. Let's go ahead and lift up, and we've got nothing. We've got a clean shelf here that lifts up to another spot down below. Doesn't look like there's any other accessories there, but it looks like there could have been some, but this car did not come with those options. As we look at her seats, they are heated and cooled, and she said that it's very surprising to have, air blowing up her hoo-hoo. Well, we're not going there. But yes, she says that is very nice, and she definitely appreciates that nice creature comfort. So move down, you'll see we have nice floor mats and our door card, is in really great condition as well. As you notice, lots of gray, dark gray, lighter gray, and black all within the interior. It does have a 40-60 split that can lower them down to make that cargo area a little larger. Back shelf is in great condition, and our headliner is also in nice shape as well. We have a lovely visor for our sunroof, which can open as well. So again, if we don't like it too hot of a summer day, there we go, closed it goes. So we're back at our steering wheel, and she's like, Mom, I've never had this many buttons on a steering wheel ever before in my life. This is crazy. And she's still learning about what many of them are. This side definitely controls our cruise control and our adaptive cruise. We've got controls over here that control this side of that display up there. This side, these arrows over here control that side where the leaves are. And then we've got all of our audio settings for radio and our connection to our phone. So, whoa, man, she's been busy trying to keep up with what's going on with this new car. So I'm really curious what this looks like on the underneath. I don't expect to find anything, and I really hope we don't, but let's give it a check and see what's going on under there.
So we do have our trolley jack kind of in the way, but we're going to move over that and start taking a look. Really what we're looking for is any kind of coolant leaks, oil leaks, or anything like that going on. Let's see what we find. So you can see this fabric panel here is removable for oil changes and whatnot. It looks like there's a couple of bolts missing, which is not a big deal. We can, next time it comes in for service, we can take care of that. Nothing's going to cause an issue, but someone probably took it off, misplaced a few bolts and said, screw it, it's good enough. But nothing dripping wet or leaking or anything, so that's good. CV boots look good. Brakes are probably 80%. They're really good. It's had some new struts, XL by KYB installed. You can see the purple emblem up there. Same thing over here. New struts. Nothing leaking. CV boots are good, so everything looks good there. Here's some more of our high voltage wiring going on. Again, there's some nuts or something missing here. We'll get some of those put on. There's our little exhaust system coming out the back of the engine. Not a whole lot going on here, but just electrical wiring and exhaust. And in the back we have just our standard suspension. Again, hybrid EV is not going to change the way the suspension looks that much. It's pretty much the same as any other car. I don't see anything leaking, Mrs. Wizard.
No, I really wasn't expecting to, and really hoping not.
Brakes look fine in the back. Let me see if the struts were redone back here. No, those are the stock ones from Ford, so just the fronts have been replaced. So we really didn't find a whole lot here. Let's go ahead and get this thing on the ground. So some of the scamming that went on actually had nothing to do mechanically. She actually picked a really good car. As you can see, it's in really good shape. The miles are pretty low. One thing we found as she was looking at different cars in this $18,000 or less price range, there's a lot of junk out there. She was saying, how about this car? How about that car? And we would go through them. No, don't do that one. No, don't do that one. This one's, constantly going through all these cars. And finally, this one, we said yes to, as long as it checked out okay and she drove it and everything seemed okay. I do know the Ford Escape hybrids are pretty much bulletproof. The Fusion hybrids are equally as well. It's just a step below a Toyota as far as the hybrid system. They actually are very, very good. There's millions of these things on the road, really without a lot of trouble. So I didn't think there would be any trouble with it. So why didn't she get a Toyota or a Honda? And the reason why is what she was wanting out of the car as far as the screens and all the technology and all the things and upgrades that it has inside the interior. If she finds that in a Toyota or a Honda, it's no longer in the $18,000 or less range, which she was shooting for. We're getting into $25,000. It went up really fast. She was looking for a vehicle that would be within her price range, but still be reliable and still have all the things that she wants. And we agreed with her this definitely would fit the bill. It would be within the price range she was looking for. So everything turned out good there. She found 3 issues with the car. Let's go over those. One of them being some of the paint damage right here. They said they would take care of it, and their idea of taking care of it was just blobbing on some touch-up paint out of a bottle. And it looks like they scuffed it or tried to sand it or something. I guess at least they tried, but that's really not that great of a job. The second thing was the letter I in the word titanium. They asked if that could be corrected. They said yes, we could take care of that. As you saw, they did not. And lastly, the steering wheel was way off when they purchased it. That has been corrected. They did do an alignment. It is driving straight now, so that's been taken care of. 2 out of 3 items that were complaints before purchase were not taken care of. And there could have been some complaint or bickering going back and forth. Hey, I thought you said we'd fix this. But I told her, I said, don't worry about it, because you want to get your car, they're going to keep it for a week or 2 weeks, or who knows how long, and it probably still won't even be done right. That's the sad reality of some of the dealers today. So let's talk about scams and how they tried to pull the wool over her eyes. One thing I want to keep in mind for you guys is the bank tried to scam her, not the dealership. This is something even at the best banks, even the most reputable banks will still try to pull this game. And this is something, if you're getting a car loan, you definitely need to watch out for. She got approved for the loan. They said you can purchase the vehicle, everything's a go, and they sent all the paperwork, the contract, and everything that needs to be gone over. It needed to be signed and handed back, and then you're done. You can have the car. But luckily, she went diving in and seeing what do they have on this loan. You really need to do that before you sign any paperwork as well. On top of the price of this car, there was $7,000 more of unnecessary services. Absolutely unnecessary. Number 1, there was gap insurance. Very likely you can get this through your own vehicle insurance, your auto insurance. It's a small fee you pay on top of your monthly payment for insurance. She plans to pay this off really quickly, and once it's paid off, you don't even have that anymore anyways. So make sure to check out with your auto insurance carrier. They may actually already offer this service. It really was something that wasn't needed to be purchased. And keep in mind, these things were added without talking to her at all. They were just secretly put into the contract. The next one was life insurance / disability payment. If you get injured or killed and you can't work anymore, it was supposed to cover the exact amount of the car payment, thousands of dollars for that service. You can probably go out to an insurance company and get similar service for way, way cheaper. And she actually already has life insurance through her employer. She doesn't need it again on the loan, which again wasn't talked about. It was just kind of secretly thrown in there under the table. Number 3 was extended warranty. I harp on this so much on this channel. Extended warranties are garbage. They are trash. 90% of reputable shops out there won't even take your extended warranty because they don't want to deal with the hassle. They tell the shop what they're allowed to charge per hour. That's not their choice. That's my choice as the shop owner. And sometimes if you have a part that's failed on your car and you say, well, as a shop, we're going to put on this new part, they'll say, no, we'll send you a good used one. You're not allowed to put a new part on. We're going to put a used one on, and then we're also going to do a cut rate, only pay half of what that job is worth. Deal with it if you want to deal business with us. And most of the time, they will deny your claim anyways. So you're stuck in this terrible position where you have a $3,000 or $4,000 bill, and you rely on them to come through since you paid for this service, and they'll say, oh, for this or that reason, we don't cover that. You're like, well, then why did I pay all this money for this insurance? It's an absolute waste of time. Crazy D in the office actually takes several calls a month. No, we don't take your extended warranty. Go somewhere else. We really don't recommend that you purchase those from any company. We've dealt with them in the past years as me being a mechanic, and it was always a negative experience. It's a 2019, and it really shouldn't be needing tons of repairs anyway. I really don't advise extended warranties. It sounds good as it's presented, but in the reality of using it, it's not good at all. With all those services removed off the contract, it actually brought the monthly payment down a full $100. She could actually put that money towards paying this off faster rather than going in someone else's pocket for services you probably won't even use in the first place, and they know that. So definitely make sure you keep an eye on that when you go to get a car loan. Really go through the paperwork and see what they're charging you for, because there will be a lot of what is called backside financing. There's things going on behind the scenes, and they'll try to get you to focus on the monthly payment, not the total amount when it's all paid off. So definitely make sure you guys pay attention during the finance process through that backside financing. This $16,900 car with all the unnecessary services added to it can end up costing $28,000 with interest and all the things added. Almost double what the list price was on the car. So make sure you guys pay attention. Definitely want to do a video for you guys showing her new ride and how cool it is. It should be getting 40 miles per gallon or higher. It's going to save a lot of money on fuel. And also how with the finance process, you really need to pay attention. Wanted to show you how they tried to really get over on her, but me and Mrs. Wizard caught it. We went through the contract with her and showed her, no, you don't want these services. So, saved a lot of money in the end. If you're curious what kind of tools we're going to use to work on any of these cars in the shop, check our Amazon affiliates link in the description below. If you purchase anything, we get a small cut and we really appreciate it. Make sure to hit the subscribe button here because we have many more cool videos to come. Thanks for watching.